Well, hello there. Good day, everybody. Welcome to Dialar's Twi'lek Tactics. This is going to be my weekly state of my account video for Marvel Future Revolution. Yes, I am still playing. Yes, I am still having fun. I think the state of my account video I did last week was, I think the key word for that video was depressing, because at the time, I was depressed. And then if you saw my video where I blew up my account, you'll know that this is an accurate number. My Black Widow is now 1.636. So for those of you just tuning in, because there's not a whole lot of people covering this game anymore, I've been playing since January 2022. I am not free to play. I have spent roughly $4,000 in this game this year, even though I am done spending now. I buy two things, one being the small perk, two being the Omega Pass, which we don't get. But anyways, this account, which I've built in under a year, is not attainable unless you spend that kind of money. That's just the reason why I disclose that. So this week you'll saw that I switched to Wolverine, right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Squad rank 272. Last week I was 269. Again, roughly I'm putting on about 3 levels per week, 12 levels a month. I will hit 300 eventually. Black Widow, yes, 1.636. Now this might be a longer video because we're going to have to dive into how I deconstructed my roster. Basically, I transmuted everything off of Black Widow, and a lot of her materials got dispersed in amongst these top 4 characters. Now, to give you context, last week my Black Widow was 2.636 million. Basically, I shaved off exactly 1 million power off of my character. So let's go into her real quick. Obviously, her potentials haven't changed, skills haven't changed, her companions have not changed, but her cards and her costumes have been completely ransacked. So, and her badges. Let's do this. So her badges and her gear all went over to Wolverine. And then Wolverine's gear and badges went to Spider-Man. And then Spider-Man's gear and badges went to Black Widow. So this Sakaar gear is coming from Spider-Man. It is not ideal stats. And these badges, as you see, there's a lot of blue in there, 1 yellow, not ideal badges. And then if we go look at her cards. So none of these cards were on my Black Widow for PvE or PvP. After I shuffled around all my cards, these are the ones that ended up on my Black Widow. The only one that she's had that's never changed is this villain damage card, which isn't much good for anything except for the defense pierce on the exclusive. So she's been completely ransacked, but even after doing that, she's still 1.6 million power, which is, that's nothing to sneeze at. So now let's move up the roster. We're going to Scarlet Witch next because she is 1.709 million power. For reference, last week she was 1.62. So we basically added about 90,000, just under 90,000 power onto my Scarlet Witch. And the majority of that comes from her cards, since she got a lot better cards through this shuffle. So her gear, just so you guys see, it is all 5-star Rise of the East. That is the same as it was last week. These are the exact same badges that she had last week. So where did that 90,000 power come from? It basically came from her cards. So I actually used my Wolverine, the selector box. Selector box, yeah, that's right. On this Storm card, because I wanted my top 3 PvP players for squad battles. I wanted all 3 of them to have the dual PvP card set. So she got this card. This card right here, this Doctor Strange card, came from Black Widow. This used to be one of her PvE cards. It is now, I got the PvP damage increase. In fact, let's just go right through. So this was always on her, I do believe. This is the card that I got with the selector. Stamina recovery. Obviously, her stats are not min-maxed. This card came from Black Widow. It's the Doctor Strange cooldown card, which cooldown is good for your Scarlet Witch. And then I got PvP damage increase. Mainly, I wanted PvP stats. This card was my PvE Captain America card on my Black Widow, so I moved it over to Scarlet Witch. This is not a PvP card, but it got cooldown decrease. It's got total damage. I will use it for PvP. This card came from Spider-Man, since he didn't need it. Defense pierce good. Crit damage decrease good. Stamina recovery. Obviously, I would have wanted a PvP up or a PvP down, but I will take what I get. And then this card was also my PvE card on my Black Widow, but it did roll PvP damage increase, and the total damage is okay. I can use this in both ways. So let's just see. PvE cards, it's pretty much exactly the same as my PvP cards, except I'm getting rid of the Storm card. And the Storm and the Captain Marvel PvP cards, and I'm running the Super Villain Damage card, which unfortunately has PvP, and it hasn't. Obviously, this came from Wolverine. And then this card I kept on her, crit damage, max damage rate, cooldown decrease, which works for Scarlet Witch for PvE. So that is how she got her damage increase. It was mostly from cards shuffling around, trickling down as we ripped apart my account. Now let's go into Spider-Man. He's 1.951. Last week he was 1.647. Did I read that number wrong? No, oh, no, whoa, yeah, way up. So last week he was 1.647. This week he is 1.951. He's basically jumped 300,000 power, and that's mainly coming from the gear. Since this was Hydra gear, not ideal for Spider-Man. Guys, keep in mind, don't put that in the comments. I know full well that it's not ideal for Spider-Man, but you saw Scarlet Witch has a full rote set. Figures that'll benefit her more than getting this Hydra gear. Crit damage, this isn't, nothing's been changed for stats. Guard damage, gross, right? 1 accuracy. Only one dodge, right? This is not idealized gear for Spider-Man, but this is where the majority of his power level increase comes from. So other than the gear and the badges going from Wolverine over to Spider-Man, let's go take a look at his cards to see what he got. So I do believe he always had can't remember where this other Storm card came from. I think I pulled it luckily, and I do believe he did have it last week, but it was only 5-star. So I did manage this week to make every one of his cards full 6-star cards. He also has the PvP up and the PvP down special cards. He's got both Magik cards, and I got lucky with this one. This one is awesome. It's a crit damage card. I think every character needs the 2 PvP cards, a crit damage card, and attack card, and then actually they can get away with a cooldown card, 2 attack cards, 2 crit damage cards. There's a couple different ways to do it, but I highly recommend you run both of the PvP cards. And then this card he always had, but I upped it to 6-star. Obviously, it's got super villain. Well, let's just roll through all 3 of them, or all 6 of them. Sorry. So attack, super villain damage, and PvP decrease in total damage. So this is like a hybrid card. I think I use it for both PvE and PvP. This one's obviously very, very, very nice. PvP increase, decrease. PvP decrease, total damage, PvP decrease. So obviously I would want to switch this in the future for a PvP up or down, whatever I need to closer max out. But for now, I'm not spending any money. Since you see up here my gold, it's only 500,000. I am perpetually gold starved right now after this transmute was done. This one, again, it's got a lot of PvP on it, but then it's got the super villain damage decrease. That's not ideal. Obviously the fixed and the exclusive are nice. And then this one too. This is I think I use this one for PvE as well. Melee damage decrease, defense, pierce, dodge, both really excellent, and then total damage, which can be used in both. But ideally, this one would also want a PvP increase or decrease depending on what my needs are. Defense, pierce, dodge. The dodge is nice. Obviously, this would be nicer if it had a PvP increase in dodge, but you know, again, same logic behind all of my other things. I don't have the money to really focus on min-maxing him because my Wolverine's not done. He's close to done, but he is not done. So now let's go up to the piece de resistance. My Wolverine. Last week, Wolverine was 2.026 million. Now, through combinations of transmutation and some native power increases that we'll go over that I did this week, my Wolverine is 2.716 million in PvP spec. So let's dive in, and we'll show you the final result of the transmute before we dive deeper into him. So Wolverine, you guys saw me, the gear all transmuted over. I did get 1 extra nano on my boots this morning, so it took his HP up quite a bit. Obviously, you don't get the bump to melee damage decrease until it is a 4 nano. But the cooldown decrease is really, really nice for Wolverine, and the ultimate gauge recovery is nice. HP even benefits Wolverine as well. So, you've seen all my gear. My gear is actually not too shabby. So, you saw how I made this 4 crit damage work. I'd initially thought that I was going to have to try to... I tried, actually, I think twice, to change stats to get some crit rate here, but I ended up just changing the colors on a few cores to get my crit rate capped. So, I left this as is at 4 crit damage and 1 defense pierce. The chest, really, really nice. 2 crit rate, 1 crit damage, 2 accuracy. That chest is, it is perfect, never to be touched again. Fully nanoed. And then my gloves, again, perfect. 3 crit, well, not perfect, but close to perfect. 3 crit damage decrease, 2 guard damage decrease. That is excellent defensive stats for Wolverine. He will take it. And the reason why, obviously, these gear did not go to a Spider-Man or a Scarlet Witch is mainly because of the stats on these gear. Specifically this one, no dodge. I would have spent many re-rolls trying to get it perfect, and as you know, the Dimension Box banner that was giving us all those juicy stat change cards is gone, probably never to be seen again. So reason why, obviously, that was lent to the reason why I switched over to Wolverine versus those other 2 PvP characters. His gear, or his badges, sorry, you guys know, you saw I actually took crit damage. I took green cores off and rolled them to red in order to get my crit rate capped that I was not getting from his gear or badges. So if we go into his stats now, 45,000 attack, I think that's high. HP recovery, obviously not maxed, but I don't know where I would ever squeeze those stats in unless we go look at the cards, but my cards are pretty much set to max out all my more important stats. Yes, I can get more attack from this, but I would rather take defense, pierce, crit rate, cooldown, PvP up or down versus HP recovery. So accuracy 164, not capped, but it does the trick against Spider-Man. That's the one thing. If you saw my PvP videos with Wolverine, he definitely helps kill Spider-Man much more effectively than Black Widow did. Crit rate is capped. As you see, it's only 2.5% over cap, so that one's perfect. Crit damage is not capped, but in OWs and AOWs, I do use an enhancer, which puts me just under capped. I do believe an enhancer is only 10% unless you use the big ones. So basically capped in group PvP. And in DD, this little bit of extra crit damage, it's not going to make or break my fights. Crit damage decreases over 100%. Defense pierce is low. In fact, oh, I know why. Because I was in training grounds and I left on my Pve cards. There we go. All right. So that puts up not a whole lot of difference on my power, but that definitely changes my stats. So obviously this accuracy stays the same. Crit rate stays the same. Crit damage stays the same. It drops my crit damage decrease a little bit, but it puts my defense pierce close to cap. My cooldown, it's at 53%, but then subtract the 8% from the badges, and that puts me at, what is that? That is, oh, showing my math wrong. That's 45%. So not really capped. My cooldown decreases at 45%. Total damage, don't care really. Stat, all this stuff don't really care for PvP. PvP damage increase 75, perfectly capped. PvP damage decrease, perfectly capped. Now a note on cooldown. So I do notice in AOWs, in OWs, even in DD, even though my cooldown is this high, my skill rotation for Wolverine often puts me stam starved. So I'm locked out not because of cooldown, but because of stamina recovery. I am in the process of changing that. This badge right here, the number 6 badge, which has decent stats for Wolverine, alt gauge recovery, stamina recovery, and cooldown. It gives 6% or decreases consumption of stamina 6% when the battle goes on for more than 2.5 seconds, which works in DD and OW. But I'm currently building the Magneto number 6 badge up to 5, and then I'm going to re-roll the cores if I don't get double red, so that I can pop these crit rate cores in there, and we'll see if that helps eliminate some of my stam recovery problems. Now, over there on that badge, unfortunately, it does have the cooldown, it does have the stam recovery, but it only has one ultimate gauge recovery, and then it has an HP stat to go with it, which is, it's going to drop this, I think, 2.8%. I think it's sitting at 3. Not a whole lot, and in a DD, probably not going to feel it because I don't maybe hit ultimate once, but I think the stam issue is going to be a lot more beneficial to me, because then I can spam my big attacks a lot faster and more reliably. So if we look at his specialization, since he's not fully complete, I'm going to first go into my DD ones. So as you see, I hit 2 of these. This is the HP recovery to attack spec trait. I did take this from 8 to 10, which accounts for a big chunk of that power increase as well. And then these are the ones I'm currently running in DD that I'm trying to build up. Obviously, it's only going to help me specifically with these 2 middle ones for damage output wise. This one increases damage on a single target. That can only help me. This one, decreases the cooldown of Evolved Hunter skills by, 13, whatever that tops out at, every 8 seconds. Now that also goes towards me being stam starved, because it's decreasing the cooldown that much faster, and I don't have the stamina to keep up. So in order to make full use out of this spec trait, I'm gonna have to switch to get that Magneto badge. But I maxed out one. This is my OW and AOW skills. So obviously this one ramps up ultimate. Ultimate, very, very, very good to have it in OW and an AOW. I'm still running this HP recovery attack. And then this is a heal one, right? It heals based off of your 2 skills after a target skill, I do believe. Oh no, absorbs whatever percent of the damage of the active skill, and the next one as HP. So this heals you up. And then this one's the same one we just discussed, so we'll leave that there. These are my PvE ones, if anyone wants to know. I don't like the PvE skill rotation I have. It feels really, really clunky, but it does the trick. So we'll go back to that since I'm currently in my OW spec. But as you see, from all of these, I still got some work to do. I got this one to 10-10, but the rest, obviously you hit over 7, and it starts to become very, very painful to level those bad boys up. So now let's go look at where Wolverine is at for cards. These cards right here are the exact same cards that Black Widow had. And I'll show you, because you guys saw that I hit almost all of the exclusives that I wanted in my transmute video, except I missed one. One I couldn't get. I had to wait to get some more rolls. So this one, the veteran card, I use this for PvE and PvP. Hence the reason why HP recovery is best. This gives the biggest bang for your buck for this exclusive stat, given that the card is a quality level 7. And then we go into my PvP ones. This card can't do nothing but this is perfect. Increase, increase, decrease, decrease. This is the best filler card to help me get my maxed out PvP stats. You all want to shoot for a card like this. Then here's my PvP decrease storm card. Obviously, I got PvP damage decrease or increase, sorry, on the exclusive. And then I got the defense pierce and the dodge rate. Dodge rate does actually help out Wolverine in squad battles in PvP, since I use that one ability that ups his dodge rate after it's used. And then my Spider-Man card. This card came from Black Widow 2, so obviously I needed the PvP decrease. And then it's got defense pierce, which is nice to help me get close to cap. Attack is but whatever. And then this card also, Captain America, is also an attack card. PvP damage increase in the defense pierce. And then my crit damage card, my Black Widow card, defense pierce, PvP damage decrease, and then this guard damage decrease, which is what it is. So if you look at all my cards, it's either HP recovery, a PvP stat, or defense pierce. So HP, PvP, 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 defense pierce, PvP. You basically need, if you guys ever have the ambition to min-max your character to its fullest, you're going to have to gather up six PvP or 6 special cards. I don't know why I was fumbling on that one. And I would shoot for this, the veteran card, which you all got, the 2 PvP cards, and then you can mix and match this, 2 attack and 1 crit damage, or 2 crit damage and 1 attack. Now, when we look at cards, though, I want to mention this, that I do have this card right here. So this is an attack card, right? I'm not using it for anything. It's just sitting here waiting to be built. I'm running currently the Spider-Man and the Captain America attack cards. Actually, these 2 right here. So if I could somehow get the Wolverine, this card right here, the defense pierce card, the 2 set bonus is crit rate. So this would effectively allow me, if I get both of these cards, this attack card and then the defense pierce card, the 2 card Wolverine set, I would remove the Spider-Man and the Captain America cards, and I would run those 2 cards. Now, I would get the attack exclusive, and obviously I would want the exact same, or I would get I would lose one of the attack fixed effects, but I would obviously want to keep the exclusives exactly the same, and I would want to have to shoot for the bonus stats to be the same to keep my build min-maxed, but having the extra defense pierce and then getting the crit rate, 5. This is a core, basically. This is basically a core. So this would allow me to change one of those crit rate cores to an attack core, which is almost not almost the same. So, 7.6. You're losing a little bit of attack, but I would cap defense pierce. I could drop crit rate down a little bit, still be capped there. Change out a core to attack, and if I can get a 6-star attack core, I'm all evened out. But I can squeak out a little bit more stats by getting those 2 Wolverine cards versus the Spider-Man and the Captain America card. But the problem is, I got to keep in mind, I'm also going to lose this 1.5% attack from having the Black Widow and Spider-Man cards. So that's a little bit of something going into my head about what I'm planning to do with my cards. If we look at my PvE cards, then we'll wrap it up since we're already 20 minutes into this video. So I'm currently reusing this Captain America and this Black Widow card. Now, the Captain America card, obviously, I would kind of want to switch it out for that Wolverine attack card. I would want, obviously, defense pierce on that exclusive, so I'm not missing out on my defense pierce. But I would want some more, like a super villain damage, and whatever. Super villain damage is basically what I'm looking for, since for PvE, these don't help me, really. Dodge doesn't help me in PvE. This I'm building up for PvE, and then this I'm building. I don't know why I'm building this for PvE. It's got HP recovery, which turns into attack. So these are my PvE cards. This card came from Black Widow. Super villain damage, HP recovery. So if we go look quickly at... Whoa, okay, nope. There's my PvP cards. If we move my Wolverine over to PvE and then look at his stats, let's just do this quick. So a little bit less attack. Ultra accuracy doesn't matter. Crit rate is still capped. Crit damage is exactly the same. Crit damage decrease little bit higher. Defense Pierce I'm losing out on. And then cooldown is actually capped since it's over 58%. So my cooldown is actually capped on my PvE. But my super villain damage is not that great. So that's where he is for PvE, and HP recovery is at 179. So let's put him back. But that pretty much wraps it up. So that is the state of my account for October 10th, 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know we've lost a couple content creators this week, so not going to be a whole lot of content for MFR out there. Is the game dead? Maybe. Are there a bunch of updates? No. But I'm not going to get into that old song and dance. I still actually enjoy this game. I enjoy covering or making content for this game, and I'm going to continue to do so until they actually turn the lights off. So, yeah, guys, that's the state of my account for October 10th, 2022. What's going to be a keyword for today? All right, what am I always like just look around my office and pick something. Let's use, if you've made it to the end of this video, I have this little fake, well, it's gold plated, but it's an Ethereum token, right? It's a fake Ethereum gold coin. So you put Ethereum in the comments down below. I will know that you made it to the end of this video, and I will thank you profusely. So until next time, guys, enjoy your weekend, or what's left of it. Actually, you're not going to see this because it'll be posted Tuesday morning, so it won't be the weekend. But enjoy your week, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Later. Cheers. Peace. Bye-bye.